Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back to watch another video. It is so good to have you here with me again today. Right, so as you can tell from the title of today's video, it's something a little bit different to anything that I've really discussed on my channel before. And what I'm going to be doing is basically sharing with you 8 different questions that you should ask yourself before making that luxury purchase. Now, the topic for today's video was actually inspired by a post in which I received, or should I say, a response to one of my stories that I received from one of my amazing followers over on Instagram. So what I had done is asked my followers, what would you guys like me to talk about more on my YouTube channel, or what kind of content would you like me to create? And one of the comments that I received was all about luxury purchases and the guilty feeling that you face when you make those luxury purchases. And I thought, wow, that's actually a really good idea and a really good topic to kind of cover in the video. So that's why we're here today to kind of discuss. So if you have any kind of questions or any kind of topics that you want to see me make a video on, then definitely follow me over on Instagram, and you can kind of join the conversations as and when they are posted on my stories. And you can of course leave any questions, any comments, any suggestions in the comment section below, and I can definitely consider it for future content. So before I actually jump into those 8 things, what I want to do is read the actual full comment that I received, because I thought it was a really good comment, and it's one that I'm sure quite a few of you watching can probably relate to. So just to give you a bit more context behind what I'm going to then be discussing later on in today's video. So the initial comment that I received was celebrating success and luxury for black girls. That was in response to my what should I talk about on my channel. So I didn't really understand the initial comment, so then I asked, I don't understand your comment, can you elaborate on what you mean? And then she came back and explained that black girls are told we're too bougie or we're doing too much when we succeed and buy ourselves nice and designer things. What's the difference between the above and wasting money? I feel guilty when I spend, and I feel like I never celebrate my wins with myself, and all my money goes to other people and things. So can you see, it's a really loaded question and a really loaded comment, and there's just so much to unpack in it. And in today's video, what I'm going to kind of do is just really explore the whole guilty side of it, and why you kind of have that guilty feeling, and kind of questions that you can ask yourself to kind of make you think twice maybe about some of those purchase decisions that you're making. So without further ado, now I'm going to jump into those 8 questions. So the first question to ask yourself actually is, does my spending align with my financial goals? So that's a really good question to ask yourself when you want to make this luxury purchase. Does me buying this item now mean that I'm not going to have the money to put towards what I need and what's more important for me later on? I strongly believe that when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And while you may really want that luxury purchase right now, do you want it at the expense of something else that's probably more important to you? I don't know, for example, you may be planning a round the world trip. You buying this luxury item, how long is it going to then delay you actually taking that round the world trip? It's a really good question to ask yourself to really get you thinking. Do I really want this? Does this align with my financial goals? Is this a priority for me now? The next question to ask yourself is, can you actually afford it? I think there's a big difference between being able to afford a payment and being able to afford an item. And also, Jay-Z said it best when he said, if you can't buy it twice, then you can't afford it. So yes, you may be able to make that purchase now, but what does the remaining bank balance look like once you've made that purchase? Is all your money being spent on this luxury item, and meaning you don't have money left over to put towards anything else? If that is the case, then maybe it is time to kind of reevaluate priorities and where you're spending your money. And maybe that luxury good that you want, you can have it, but not right now. Do you have a budget? I always talk about budgets in a lot of my videos, and that's because I really think it's important to have that conscious spending plan for our money. Because it's one thing saying, yes, I've got the money, I've just been paid, I need to buy this item because I work hard for my money, let me reward myself. I think you work hard for your money, so let your money equally work hard for you. So if it's a case of you're spending a lot of your money on this luxury item, meaning you don't have savings, you don't have anything else as a buffer, then maybe it's time to reevaluate those priorities and where you're actually focusing, spending your money on, and focusing, putting most of that hard-earned cash towards. So I really do think it's important to have a conscious spending plan for your money. Tell your money where to go at the start of the month, so that it doesn't come the end of the month, you're sitting there thinking, where has all my money gone? Yes, I've got this new luxury item, but I haven't got any other money left to put towards anything else of importance. I think definitely if you're having that guilty feeling when you're making these luxury purchases, sometimes it may be because if you're honest with yourself, maybe you shouldn't be making that luxury purchase right now. Yes, you work hard for your money, and yes, you deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labour, but equally you want your money to be working hard for you. And if all your money is going towards paying for things and spending on things, then how much money is then being left to put towards your actual financial goals or put towards your wealth generating opportunities? So of course, if you don't have a budget in place and you don't have a budget template, I do have my version of it on my website, which you can grab in the description box below. It's what I use to manage my finances on a monthly basis. So I do have a fund allowance which I could then put towards if I wanted to buy these luxury items. I mean, to be fair, looking at my budgets, if you've seen any of them, again, I'll link them up here in the description box below. You'll know it will take me a very long time to save up my fund allowance to buy any kind of luxury item because I don't give myself a large enough fund allowance. But equally, if luxury goods were things that I placed a lot of value on, then I would just save up towards making that purchase from the fund allowance in which I've given myself. But what I'm not prepared to do is kind of take all my money, buy all these nice things and not be able to prioritize any of my other financial goals. Another question to ask yourself before making these luxury purchases is, do you have an emergency fund? And when I say emergency fund, I mean money set aside to deal with an emergency, because the reality is emergencies will come. Rainy days are guaranteed in this life. How prepared are you for when these eventualities arise? Because God forbid, today was your last day of work, today was your last day getting paid. How many days, how many weeks, how many months could you survive without getting yourself into a financial mess or financial trouble? If it's not a month or 2 months or even 3 months, then maybe luxury purchases shouldn't be a priority for you right now. Yes, it's something you can work towards, save towards, but I think building that buffer and that emergency fund should definitely take priority over buying these luxury goods. Another question to ask yourself is, does this stuff I'm acquiring actually make me happy? Let me be honest with you, I have done a lot of retail therapy over the years, like more than I care to admit. When I'm not having a good day, I buy something online. When I want to cheer myself up, yes, ASOS will see me, Amazon will see me too. And I've done that for many, many years. And what tends to happen is, in that moment when I'm making that shopping trip or when I'm making that online purchase, I feel great, I feel fantastic, I'm happy, I'm over the moon, like I'm on cloud 9. But as soon as I've finished getting that item delivered or I've used the item, straight away I'm back where I started and I'm not feeling fantastic again. But these things in reality don't have the power to make you happy. They may make you happy for a moment, but the newness of the item wears off and the excitement of the item wears off all too easily. And before you know it, you're on to the next thing that you want to get to kind of make yourself feel better again. And then it's a vicious, never-ending cycle. Go back and look at the purchases that you've made over the last 6 months and all the things that once brought you happiness. How happy do they make you right now? Do you see them and get excited like you did when you first purchased them? I bet if you're honest with yourself, the answer is no, you don't care for it the way you did when you first got it. And that's because things in themselves don't make you happy. The next question I want to ask yourself is about this guilty feeling. So why do you actually feel guilty about making these luxury purchases? I think this is something that really needs to be explored and evaluated so that you can really understand what is behind you feeling the way you feel when you make certain purchases. I think in all honesty, this is a really important question to ask yourself, because the truth at times is a very hard pill to swallow. Are you feeling guilty because you know you really can't afford to buy this item that you're buying? If that is the case, listen, don't feel anyway, don't feel ashamed, don't be upset. Like, you're not the first person to do this and you won't be the last. I've done it many times myself, maybe not on luxury items, but just buying items in general that I had no business buying because I couldn't afford to do so. But I did it because it made me feel good. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting nice things and liking luxury things, but don't over leverage yourself. Don't get yourself into financial trouble just to acquire these things. If you really want to acquire these nice items, there's nothing wrong with saving up towards buying them. Yes, you may want that Louis Vuitton bag. It's going to take you 3 months to save the money to buy it. Then 3 months it's going to take. There's nothing wrong with waiting. The art of delayed gratification is something that's definitely missing a lot right now in our generation. We're being fed all the time to have it now, have it now, have it now. You want it, you can have it today. Things like Klarna are just making things a lot worse for us because it's just so easy now to afford things that you once couldn't afford to buy. Like just the other day I bought some boots. They were £60 and they had the option to pay with Klarna. So it ended up being like £20 a month. And I almost wanted to do it because I thought, actually, if I do it in installments, then I can have more of my fun money this month to buy other stuff. But then I quickly came to myself because I know that that's a vicious trap, and then before you know it, I've bought like 5 items instead of the one that I had set out to buy, because now I have enough money to buy the different things, and then next month I'm going to still be paying for those items that I've already been using and enjoying and wearing out. I think if we learn to master that skill of delayed gratification and just waiting and saving up towards certain purchases, we would really be in a happier space, and we wouldn't have that guilty feeling that we have sometimes when we make purchases that we know may be a bit of a stretch for us financially. But on the other hand, another side of the story, which I was also considering when I'm putting together my notes for this video, is that that guilty feeling that you're feeling may not actually be because you can't afford to buy it. From the initial comment that I received, that person sounded like they were in a strong enough financial position to afford these nice luxury things, and they were feeling guilty, possibly not because of the fact that they couldn't afford to buy it and they were buying it, but more so other people's perceptions of them and what other people were thinking about them making these purchases. So for example, you may have advanced in your career, had a few promotions over the last few years, and now you're earning 150,000 per year, whereas all your peers and your friends that you grew up with are still in the 50, 60k salary bracket. You may feel a certain way buying those nice things, knowing that those around you are not in the same financial position to be able to do so. So it looks like you're stunting on them, or you think you've arrived now, or you think you're better than everybody else because now you've got all these nice things. I think if you are in that kind of position, then that's not a you problem, that's a them problem. You've leveled up, they can level up as well. Like, everybody has the opportunity to enhance themselves and grow and to make their life better if they want to do so. So if you've chosen to do that, and now you're in a position to be able to afford these nice things for yourself without overstretching yourself, then by all means enjoy the fruits of your labour. You worked hard for it, you deserve to enjoy it without being made to feel a certain way for doing so. But equally, they may not be paying that much attention to you in the way you think they are. Sometimes the way you think people perceive you is not how they actually perceive you. So this might be you thinking that they're feeling and thinking a certain way about you, when in reality they're not even thinking twice about what you're doing with your money or how you come across. And even if they do, so what? Like my sister literally always says, don't take paracetamol for somebody else's headache. I can't come and die because you feel a certain way about the lifestyle in which I'm living. We all have one life to live, and we've got to live it the best way we can. The reality is, people don't really care about you as much as you think they do. And that actually leads on to my next question quite nicely. Why do you actually want to buy these luxury items? Like, seriously, in the comment section below, let me know why you like to buy luxury items. Like, what is it about luxury items that makes you want to buy them? Is it that you just like the finer things in life? You know, you like to look good, you like to feel good, you like the way these design items look on you or feel on you, and you just like it. You just genuinely appreciate the beauty and the quality of the item, you know, the way it's made with better materials, so it sits well and it lasts longer. Like, if those are your motivations behind buying these luxury items, then that sounds all good and great. Genuinely ask yourself though, is that all that it is that is motivating you to buy these luxury items? Because if it is that, then at surface level it just seems fine. But if there's more to it, there's more layers to it, which often is the case, even though people may not say it is the case, it's what it makes you feel like to other people, or how it makes you feel in comparison to others. So what I basically mean by that is, do you want these luxury items to stunt on other people? Do you want it so that it makes you feel superior to your peers? Does it make you feel like you are better than other people? Does it make you feel like you've arrived? If so, then that shouldn't really be the motivation behind you making these purchases, because your things don't define who you are as a person. Do you basically just find your self-worth and your self-value in the things that you own? If so, then it's definitely time to do some deep self-reflections and self-evaluation. Because the reality is, if you measure your self-worth and your net worth by your material possessions, you'll never ever feel valuable enough. The last question I want you to ask yourself is, am I comparing myself to other people? Are you comparing yourself to others? Seriously, ask yourself that question. Is your desire for luxury items simply fueled by other people? You see your friend has brought a new Rolex, so you think, I need a new Rolex too. Or your favorite influencers always showing you the latest must-have item that you must buy, and you're like, yeah, I need to have that too. It's really important to assess your own financial situation and the motivation behind you making certain purchases. Ask yourself, is this really how I want to be spending my money? Or is my spending motivated and fueled by what I'm seeing other people do? Do these luxury purchases really align with my own financial goals? Listen, I'm not trying to at anybody or make anyone feel any way about buying luxury items. If you want to buy luxury goods, by all means do it. But I really think that it's important to kind of ask yourself these questions before you make those purchases, so that you can think twice maybe about how you're spending your money, and just make sure that your money is really working for you the best way possible and you're getting the most value out of your money. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of food for thought before you make your next luxury purchase. But at the end of the day, listen, it's your decision, it's your money, your life, and you do what works for you. But I'm going to end with a great quote from one of my favourite books, Your Money or Your Life. The author's name is Vicky Robin. If you haven't read that book, listen, read that book. It will make you think so differently about how you spend your money, because in that book she basically talks about how your money and your spending pattern really aligns with your life and your values and what you want out of your life. Like, it's a deep book. But the quote from the book that I wanted to bring to your attention is, if you live for having it all, what you have will never be enough. So that's a really deep question. Like, if you want it all, and that's all you're working for. At what point is enough enough? And that's a really deep question. Like, it's a really loaded question. Sit down and think about it, and it makes you really reconsider your whole existence. But yeah, if you want to check out that book, I'll link it in the description box below so you can check it out. Also, I did a review on that book a while ago. I think last year on my channel I did a review on that book, which again I'll link in the description box so you can go check it out. If you're not an avid reader, you don't have time to read the whole book, that review basically summarizes it, so you'll get it in a nutshell what the book is about. But yeah, that's literally it for today's video. I just wanted to share those 8 questions that I think you should ask yourself before making your next luxury purchase. Now, I hope you haven't misunderstood me in this video and we haven't fallen out. I don't have anything against buying luxury goods. If that's what you want to do with your money, definitely go ahead and do it, enjoy it, live your best life, but just make sure it makes sense and it aligns with your financial goals and you're doing it for the right reasons and with the right intentions. And yeah, do that and you'll be good to go. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you made it this far and you haven't given it a thumbs up, then you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so, share this video with a friend or family member, and I will see you guys soon for another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.